Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Wishing You Well. I'm pretty excited today. I'm here with my friend Amy.
Hey, Rodney.
And Amy and I we met doing theater together. And in fact, we're sitting right in front of Kumakahua Theater where we did a lot of our plays. It's funny that I realized you and I haven't done a play together really. We did Oranges Are Lucky and Fighting Fire, but that was two one-act plays. So you was in one, I was in the other.
Yes.
But I gotta tell people this story. Because we were playing Chinese, Amy and I decided we have to learn how to be Chinese. So one block over is Chinatown. And we decided we're gonna hang out at Chinatown, remember?
Yes.
And then we had to give each other Chinese names. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Do you remember the Chinese name I had to call you?
Anmei?
No, Gung Jun.
No, I don't remember that.
Because Gung Jun stood for princess.
Oh.
So he said, that's the name I'm gonna have from now on. And,
Yeah.
and it's funny, I had to learn, I am Chinese. I had to learn how to be Chinese. I never knew what it was about. But I don't wanna, the hard part is I don't wanna talk about myself, but I want you to tell the people out there,
Yeah.
what I was like before my strokes, like what you remember.
What I remember from Rodney is he was a very, very talented comedian. I mean, when he goes on stage, he glows, he knows how to capture the audience and make them feel good. And he always game for anything. Like, you know what I mean? To be an actor, not everybody can do that. You know, it's like, how do you say? You're always thinking of other people. You know, you want to put the smile on other people's faces.
I didn't
Yeah?
pay her to say this.
Yeah.
You know?
So Rodney, he's natural talent. He's comedian. He's someone that you can go say, "Oh, Rodney, I need a favor," and he'll always say yes or try his best. Outgoing, very popular. You know, a lot of people. Yeah, from when you grew
Yeah.
up, your high school. I mean, you keep in touch with your friends. You know, you never forgotten your friends, right? You had friends from high school
From
time,
high
small
school.
kid time. I believe he
From
went
elementary
to
school, yeah.
right? You know, like he was very connected that way.
It's
Yeah,
funny now that you guys heard Amy say that.
yeah,
And now my life is so different because of the strokes.
yes.
Like I don't feel, part of me, I don't feel like I can recapture that. And I realize I'm wrong. It may not be exactly the same, but
Yeah.
the feeling I can recapture again.
Yes.
And I see, and now some of you have been wondering how much do we prep the people we interview with, and the answer is very little, because we want an honest answer and see their honest reaction. Because some of the topics are a little difficult or not the easiest to deal with. And so, an example, this is the real reason why I brought Amy on. I wanted you to know, I don't think I've told you, but in another episode we filmed where I said, if people are important to you, tell them they're important to you.
Yes.
You feel better. But when I was in a hospital, like for the 3 months, well, actually 6 months total, Amy would text me all the time. Not all the time. She wasn't a pain in the butt. But I would get texts like, how are you? And stuff. And then it wasn't pressure. I didn't have to answer it. It's like when I was in a hospital, somebody visits you. You're happy for 5 minutes. And then you're like, oh, I got therapy, or here's a meal, or I'm tired. And it's kind of a burden. But with Amy's text, it was always positive. And it was like bugging you enough to know somebody's thinking about you. And believe it or not, physically, I think I healed from that. I have no proof physically, but mentally and emotionally. And that's a time when it's hard to be emotionally and mentally tough. Your
Sure.
text picked me up all the way. And to the point where I was telling Kamanao, one of our friends is not doing well, and I do the same thing you did. I text him like once a week, just so he knows, like we miss him, and when he's well, text us back. But you didn't know that, like your text meant that much. It really did. And how do you feel about that, knowing that you touched somebody that way?
I'm very honored. No, I didn't do anything. I would do what every friend would do. You know, when we find out our friends are in the hospital or not feeling well, naturally, we want to reach out as best as we can.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the thing, my message to everyone is,
Yeah.
I hope I would be that person
Right.
before the strokes, but I don't remember. So I'm like discovering new people and new things as I go. But
Sure.
your messages and every single
Exactly.
text. Do you know how you ended?
No.
You said, "And let me know if you need anything." On every single
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's inside. You're like, "Oh my god!" Oh, sorry, hit the mic. I know. It's easy to think like, yeah, that's just something somebody wrote. But with yours, I'm like, you actually meant it.
Of course.
And
of course.
that again, that helped me heal.
Oh, thank you, Rodney.
And before we go, I gotta say one thing. It's kind of a side. So, Amy and I used to see each other once a year at least at the Okinawan Festival.
Oh, yeah.
We wanted to let you guys know we're proud that we're Okinawans. Uchinanchu.
Ganbare.
But and the end of every episode, I give a quote, and because we try to be Chinese, I came up with a quote for you,
Okay.
and it's, "When employed correctly, 4 ounces can move thousands of pounds."
Oh.
That's from Disney's Mulan.
Oh.
So thank you, Amy, for being on.
Oh no! Thank you for
Thanks,
asking
everyone.
me.
Oh, and don't forget, hit the
Okay.
like, subscribe, and you know what? I forgot to mention, because we're still new, I can say for now, leave a comment, and I will get back to 100% of you, unless it's nothing to get back to. But bye. Thanks, folks.
Aloha.